In this video, I'll demonstrate PAYEsoft's Timesaver Calc for Tax. Timesaver Calc for Tax is designed expressly to assist anyone who must manually calculate gross to net and net to gross figures, for payslips or for checking P45s. It instantly removes the need for tax and NI tables and produces printed payslips on standard A4 paper. The Payslip Screen's simple design allows you to quickly set up payments and deductions along with all the other information used to calculate a payslip. A calendar helps select the correct period number for the date. Enter a description of the payment and its value. If it's not taxable, untick the T. If it's not NIable, untick the N. There is a selection of predefined payments in the payments list. You can add your own to the list by entering a new payment and clicking Store. Note, if you put an asterisk in front of the payment, it will not be calculated as a payment, but will be taxed if T is ticked in that payment's row. This is sometimes used for expats. It comes with a handy overtime wages calculator that can be accessed by clicking the chicane at the end of the payments row. Say you wanted to calculate overtime. The rates hours calculator can be used to work out the gross amount due for overtime by entering the number of hours, the overtime rate, and the type of overtime, i.e. 1.5 in the multiplier for time and a half. The calculated value will be transferred back to the Payslip screen automatically, and the number of hours and the rate will be printed on the payslip. To calculate tax credit, enter the information from the revenue, i.e. the number of days, units, and the rate. Ensure that the T and N columns are blank, as these payments are made directly to the employee and no tax or national insurance is deducted from them. You will need to manually record these values on your P11. In the Salaries tab, you can enter the salary value and either the number of days or hours to be paid. If you input days, the system will divide the salary figure by the number of working days held by the options window and multiply by the number of days you have entered. Note, the default number of working days and hours can be changed on this screen. The deductions list also has an editable selection of predefined deductions, including pension schemes. To set up a pension, select one from the deductions list. There are three more settings. Enter either a percentage or a pound value for the amount. Employee is the employee's deduction you want. Employer is the employer's deduction you want. Disregard is the percentage or value that must be deducted from the pensionable pay prior to the employee and employer's calculation being made. Pension schemes that have been authorized by the Inland Revenue allow employees to obtain tax relief on their pension contributions, including any additional voluntary contributions, but not against the earnings for national insurance purposes. This scheme is called Net Pay Arrangement. Until you receive authorization, you must not use this scheme. Directors can be calculated by entering an A in the DIR option, indicating that an annual basis should be used, i.e. the employee has been a director since the start of the tax year, or P indicates pro rata basis should be used. This is to be used for someone who has become a director after the start of the financial year. When this field has been selected, there will be a further field where you can enter the applicable number of weeks. After calculating, the rest of the payslip is filled out. You can examine the results more closely by looking in the P11 Details and Payslip Values screens. The details can be copied to the clipboard for pasting into any other Windows product. You can also copy the payslip figures directly from the Payslip screen. Now you can store, recall, amend, and print the payslip with a selection of different payslip layouts and your own logo. You'll be prompted to enter some employee information when you first store the payslip. You may wish to calculate a series of payslips for an individual. Recall the last payslip and press Next. You are now commencing a new calculation, and tax and NI codes can be changed. When producing further payslips, the values held and displayed as CF cumulatives will remain, but will be changed to BF. The tax period will automatically advance when you press Next. Occasionally you may need to gross up a net payment to arrive at a gross value before the deduction of tax and national insurance. To operate Timesaver Calc for Tax this way, set the conditions of payment, such as frequency, tax code, and NI code, etc., as you would normally for a gross to net calculation. Now click the Net Pay box at the bottom right of the Payslip screen to reveal the Net to Gross calculation window. Either enter the description of the payment you wish to make, or select one from the list, and enter the net pay target. The taxable and NIable boxes allow you to decide the basis of the calculation, just as you would in a normal gross to net calculation. The expat taxback function will calculate net to gross figures and add them back into a payment. The P45 screen has been designed to allow you to quickly check details on any P45 you receive from a starter to ascertain if it has been correctly prepared. Just enter the information in the relevant fields and click Calculate to display the correct answer in seconds. Should there be a discrepancy, a window will advise you of the difference. The Options window will allow you to set the values of some default fields on the Options screen. You are able to change the way Timesaver Calc for Tax works and also the presentation of payslips. The price of this software is only £35.25 a year. This includes support and your software updates each year. You can try before you buy by downloading a fully working 1-month trial of Timesaver Calc for Tax with no obligations. Please subscribe if you like this video. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments section below.